Because, hey guys, it's me, Shayna.
Me, Shayla,
From the News. And today, we're doing a check-in.
And you know why we're out of breath? Because we had to run. We had to run to our house because there's this man walking to people's doors and knocking on people's doors. So, you know, I was thinking he was probably going to follow the kids back to their house so that they can knock on the house and be like, I know your door is open. Hi! Like that. So me and Shayna ran, and we ran, and we got home. Mm-hmm. And then on the bus, they were starting stuff.
They were showing pictures of people, and it wasn't us this time. They were showing pictures of people, and they were like joning on the boys. We were like, dang, what the heck?
Oh yeah, Mom, and there's like, you know, there's this thing going around school where it's like, ush, right? Mm-hmm. A basketball player made it, and so you go, ush, and you run away, right? And so it's going in our school, right? And then there's this boy, Kyrie, he came on the bus and he said this one boy got in trouble because the boy ushed him and the police officer was right there. We're like, oh, he's good. He's good. What would the police officer even say? Keep your hands to yourself? Mm-hmm. And then, oh yeah.
And then talking about in science class, we took the state test for science to see like where you're at. And I did good, cause
yeah, everybody was getting 190s and stuff like that, and I got a 217.
I got a 212, so I think
you got
that's
a 219.
No, I didn't. I got a
you
212.
got two above me.
No, I didn't. I got a 212. I know what I see on my computer, Shayla.
Oh, I got a 217.
Anyways, what else?
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Mom? On the math test, it was like some doctor questions. It was like which thing was this? Like it was like muscle tissues and stuff like that, and I was like. I know I got those questions right. Because it was like, these go to like the body and they're like red and white. And I was like, blood cells? Ding! And then I got it. And then in Miss Suarez's class, that Spanish class, right? And there's this one girl, Amari, she called me Shayna, right? And Miss Suarez is like not really doing anything right now. She's just kind of being quiet. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, Shayna? And she was like, yeah. She was like, oh, sorry, Shayla, right? And then Miss Suarez was like, Chayna? What happened to Chayna? I was like, nothing. And then when I got paid to write the stuff down at least 10 times. At least. And then, she was like, don't know your name. Chayla, come on.
She called you both names.
Yeah. And it was so funny. There's this one girl, she actually gets on my nerves when we're doing attendance. Literally, the Z in Spanish is S. She says all of our names in Spanish. So the Z makes the S sound, and her name's Zoe. So she's like, Zoe. And then she's like, no, Zoe. And it's like, girl, do you not know that's your name in Spanish? Like, we're, on like week 3? And she keeps like, no, Zoe. And then when she gets it wrong, she goes like this to her hair or whatever. And then she like, you can see her eyes start to water. She cries at anything. She's like, no, Zoe. And then she was like,
you didn't tell her what the teacher called you?
well, everybody told her, but she don't be listening.
What's the teacher call you?
Oh, everybody knows that the teacher calls me and Shayna and Shayla.
And Mom,
and not Shayna and Shayla.
Tell me why. This is math class. We're leaving the school, and my 6th grade math teacher that left the same year, like left at the end of the 6th grade year, she came. She was here. And we were like, hi, Miss Stiglitz. And she was like, you need to email. She was Valencia's math teacher too. And so she was like, you need to email me pictures of you guys doing modeling. She's like, you're still doing modeling, right? And we're like, yeah, we are.
What?
And then she was like, give Valencia a big hug for me.
Oh.
I think either I got taller or she got shorter.
You got taller. You definitely got taller.
And everybody was like, why are you wearing mismatched shoes? And 3 boys came over. So one boy, he was like, why are you wearing mismatched shoes? And then he was like, what did you do? Like, when you're getting ready? And I was just ignoring him, right? Because he sits at my table. And then the other boy, he came over and he was like, oh yeah, like, you kind of look like a 3-year-old. And then he said, but you really look like a 3-year-old if you switch the shoes. So he's talking about the shoe goes this way and the other shoe goes this way. And he started laughing because that was funny. And then Robin comes over and he's like, what are you guys talking about? It's literally matches her outfit. And I was like, see, thank you, Robin. And those boys that are saying, what are you doing? We're white and Robin was black. So I was like, see, I said, we got some common sense. You guys don't. And then, oh, you know when I was walking in, Miss Dillon and Miss Reese were like, oh, I like it. Okay, I like the shoes. And she was like, oh, so like they said we're not matching, but then we're like, we're semi-matching. And then Miss Freeze and Miss Dillon were like, oh, so Shayna must have on black and white sneaker and that sneaker. And I was like, yeah. She was like, yep, I know. And then I just walked in the class. And then who else was it? Who else said something about my shoes?
Oh, Brady said something about my shoes. He was like,
Yeah, he said something about my shoes.
You and your sister both got mismatched shoes. And I was like, just leave me alone. I was like, bro, come on. And then tell me why. People were like, did your English teacher do anything crazy today? And I was like, she's always targeting me today. So my Mel was like, she's your D1 hater. Your D1 hater. Like, bro, every single day you gotta comment on something.
Literally, my science teacher, when I walked into class, he was like, you have map testing. And I was like, okay. And he was like, and then I'm sitting at my seat, mind you, getting my stuff out for the class. And he's like, wait, he said, I'm being him. And then you me. Did you? It's so weird. He's like, did you dress up in the dark? Wait, he said, did you get dressed in the dark today?
No.
And I was like, no. And then I looked at it, because he was like, because of your shoes. And then I was like, and I looked at his shoes and looked at his outfit and then looked away. Because he was wearing red, a whole red stuff, and then blue shoes.
Blue shoes. Come on.
No, bright blue shoes. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, and you're talking about my outfit? My stuff matches.
Shayla, you know what? One thing I noticed that Mr. Lowe is the only one that's always sitting out there.
Mhm.
And he also, every time we're talking, because like 7th grade hallway, not 7th grade, science hallway, there's 4 classrooms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you walk and then you stop and then you part with your friends like that, right? And we always do that part. And Mr. Lowe was like, Shayla was like, you got map testing today, Shayna? And he was like, so do you.
Yeah, he kind of has like the humor as Mr. Shrek.
Mm-hmm.
He seems cool.
Yeah.
I don't have him though.
I don't have it either.
Tell the people about your good news.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to New York.
We're actively black. New York Fashion Week.
Actively black.
And you know, there's this one boy. Oh yeah, you know Brady. He literally said that Sheets gave him a card, like a free card, $20 gift card, because he came to Sheets 100 days in a row.
It's a lot of money to spend.
I know. And then I was like, 100 days in a row, and I was like, I don't even stay in my state 100 days in a row. And then he was like, yeah, that's because you be everywhere. He said, yeah. He was like, have you ever been to Mexico? And then he said, no. Have you ever been to the Bahamas? Because he said he looked up what my last name was. And he said it was Bahamian. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, but I haven't been to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, that's it for me. So like,
Comment.
subscribe. Bye, 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 bye.